At Young Real Estate, we understand the importance of face-to-face interactions. Our experienced agents are here to listen to your needs and personalize your home buying or selling experience. But we also recognize the power of technology. Young Real Estate offers virtual showings, allowing you to explore properties from the comfort of your own home. Young Real Estate, where technology meets a personal touch. Your dreams, our expertise. Contact us today and let's make your dream home a reality.
Good evening and welcome to high school girls volleyball on Aycorp Sports. Tonight we're coming to you from the campus of Central High School in Cape Girardeau, where the Tigers are set to take on their neighbors to the west, the Jackson Indians. Alongside my brand new broadcast partner, Jack Stover, I'm Philip Britt. We're excited to bring you all the action. Jack, welcome to the Aycorp Sports broadcast team.
Thank you, Philip. I'm excited to be here, part of the broadcast tonight, and thanks for giving me this opportunity. Unfortunately, Coach Carl Ritter was unable to be here tonight, so he called and asked if I'd be interested, and I happily accepted. This is a long-standing rivalry in sports between the Jackson Indians and the Cape Girardeau Tigers. The Indians come in with a record of 10-3 against some really tough competition. Their losses have come to Incarnate Word Academy last week, and then 2 losses over the weekend at the Rockwood Tournament in St. Louis to Nixa and St. James from Lexington, Kansas. Central sports a record of 10-3-1, losing to Hillsborough, Dexter, and over the weekend to advance in the Dig for Life tournament.
Well, we're excited about tonight. You know, you said it's a rivalry. It is a rivalry. In fact, these two cities have quite a rivalry in just about everything they do. Athletically, though, there are a couple of sports where Jackson has really dominated Cape Girardeau Central, and one of those is football recently, and the other is volleyball. In fact, Jackson has won the last 29 meetings between these two teams. In those 29 matches, Cape Central has been able to actually win 2 sets in those 29 matches. So it hasn't been really close this year or the last several years, but our expectation is tonight it's going to be a little bit different. This Cape Central team is much better than what we've seen in the past. They have a brand new coach, Coach Summer McCauley Purdue. This is her first year at the head. She's been an assistant. She's worked here in the school system. She was a Cape Girardeau native, went to school at Notre Dame. She was, in fact, all-state her junior and senior year in both basketball and volleyball. She was an outstanding athlete in her own right and has now finally gotten the opportunity to lead this team. And so we expect her to have to create some momentum with this program. They've always got some really good athletes, but they just haven't been able to put it all together in the last several years. Jackson, on the other hand, has a steep history. Coach Dave Murley is there. It's his 8th year as the head coach. They won the last 5 district championships for Class 6 District 1. Class 5 District 1, sorry, there's only 5 classes in volleyball. Class 5 District 1, and they're poised to do that again. We had them against Incarnate Word last week. Incarnate Word is just an exceptionally good volleyball team. I mentioned to you earlier when we were talking that both these teams lost a lot of seniors last year. Cape Central lost 6 seniors, and Jackson graduated 8 seniors, 6 of whom started at some point or another. But they've still got some talent. They've got We'll mention some of the players to look for kind of as we go along. So we're going to take let's see if we're going to do starting lineups first. Looks like we're going to do starting lineups first. So let's get our starting lineups in. We mentioned that Jackson is led by Katie St. John, who's a senior. She'll be attending and playing for Southeast Missouri State University next year. So we're excited to see her continue to play in Southeast Missouri. She's been fun to watch over the last 4 years. This is her 4th year, and she's started all 4 years for Jackson, and that doesn't happen very often. So,
very impressive feat.
Yeah. She actually was their she set the single season kill record for Jackson as a sophomore 2 years ago, and is already their career kill leader before this season started. So she says she's hoping to get to 1,400 kills for her career, which is a huge number. So,
Mark, not many people reach in their careers.
Absolutely. All right, so we're ready for our starting lineup. Starting for Jackson. The Jackson Indians start with number 2, Lila Sand. She's in the middle. Number 3, Lynn Avery Crowley. She plays back row. She's a solid back row player. Number 6, Katie Wandell. She's a senior. Number 11, Avery Bruni, one of the 2 freshmen that start on this varsity Jackson team. Here's the other one, number 24, Lauren Dory. 6'2", she sets and hits both. So, number 26, Ava Wessel. And number 12, Amory Winston. She's their libero. And now for the Cape Central Tigers. Number 3, Nalea Furlow. She's a senior. Number 5, also a senior, Ella Huckel. Number 7, junior Sydney Miller. She's been really solid for them this year. She was all tournament in the Hillsborough tournament they were in early in the season. Number 9, Piper Underwood, a senior, also all tournament in that Hillsborough tournament earlier in the season. Number 10, Sophie Haggerty. And I believe number 12, Layla Bergfield. And then the libero is number 1, Emma Smith.
It's like a lot of upperclassmen starting for the Tigers today, while we have a bit more youth on the Indian side.
Absolutely. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back after the national anthem and ready for the start of this match.
At Young Real Estate, we understand the importance of face-to-face interactions. Our experienced agents are here to listen to your needs and personalize your home buying or selling experience. But we also recognize the power of technology. Young Real Estate offers virtual showings, allowing you to explore properties from the comfort of your own home. Young Real Estate, where technology meets a personal touch. Your dreams, our expertise. Contact us today and let's make your dream home a reality.
Welcome back to Jackson High School for this matchup between the Cape County matchup between the Cape Girardeau Central Tigers and the Jackson Indians. Alongside Jack Stover, glad to have you with us, Jack. This is pretty exciting. We expect a pretty exciting match tonight. So just watching warm-ups and watching these ladies, kind of maybe your first opportunity to see them, what are you expecting tonight?
I'm expecting a lot of pin setting tonight. I'm expecting Jackson to primarily rely on their, number 14, Katie St. John, who's heading to Southeast Missouri State. Doesn't look like she's in our starting lineup, but I expect her to make a big impact on tonight's game.
Right.
And then for the Tigers, I expect a lot of scrappiness out of them. Play some defense, use the more experience of the juniors and seniors, and keeping their scrappiness ahead, and overall just keeping the ball off the floor and relying on Jackson to make more mistakes.
Well, I'm excited to see what happens. As I mentioned, we got to see this Jackson team play last Tuesday night. They're pretty solid bunch of players. I tell you, even though they're young, they've got a couple of freshmen that are starting on this varsity team I mentioned last week to Coach Ritter that a couple of those freshmen on their junior varsity could start for just about any team in Southeast Missouri this year. So they've got a good crop of freshmen playing at Jackson this year. So, all right, so Cape Central with the first serve. So they've got Jackson just a little bit out of system there on that particular play, and then back to
great middle attack.
Nice attack there by Malaya Furlow.
Great decision by the setter to get the middles involved early. Always nice to see that. Keep that middle blocker on the other side guessing.
Absolutely. You got to move one way or the other or stay in the middle, and that time, a nice hit. Here's number 11, Avery Bruni, that time with the hit from the outside. Here comes Katie St. John. You knew she wouldn't be out very long. She comes in to run the front row.
See what kind of impact she should make tonight.
And Dory's back to serve for freshman, back to serve for Jackson. Good bump set. There's Sydney Miller with the hit, off the block and down. She takes a seat, and Haley Edmondson in to work the back row into serve. Nice pickup that time by Winston, the libero, and there's Katie St. John making an impact very quickly.
That hard cross shot will be open for her all night tonight.
Yep. They're definitely going to have to get that double block up in front of her to keep her from being able to do that all night. Nice serve, picked up nicely by Cape Central, and the hit is out long.
Good passing there by Cape Central, just couldn't find the court there.
Right. Katie Wandell is serving for the Jackson Indians. Nice low serve that time, picked up nicely by the libero. Good hit off the block that time.
Looked like number 9.
Yeah, Piper Underwood. Yep. So it's kind of a tough angle for us here. The standards here at Cape Central, as you can see on your video, are they come down from the ceiling, which I've never seen that at any other school, and so they pose a little bit more of a block for us, especially when the front row on the Cape Girardeau Central side. So we'll do our best to see who hits the ball. That was Furlow put that ball down.
Great choice tipping that over to the setter spot defense.
Yep, she found exactly where that defense was not, and that's sometimes it doesn't matter how hard you hit it as long as you hit it in the right spot. Haggerty back to serve for Cape Central. Oh, into the net. We always try to keep it low, keep it right over the net. Sometimes it hits the net. So 4-4, we're tied up. Bruni back to serve for the Jackson Indians, freshman. Nice pick up. The outside Piper Underwood again that time. Back set to Furlow. Set to the outside or the right side to Katie St. John that time, and she comes through again.
2 great digs in that rally by number 1, Maddie Nulseman. I mean, 2 great pickup on the tip and great pickup on the cross shot there.
Yep, she covered those blocks really nicely. Bruni back to serve again for the Indians. Nice pass that time. Good block. Got the block up that time. The middle blocker, Sands, with a good block. She and St. John together. Good swing that time by Katarina Ellefson. We'll call her name quite a bit tonight. She's not that tall. She's 5'9", but she really jumps well, and she plays a very solid outside. We called her name a lot the other night, last week. Bruni again. So a little out of system play this time, but nice hit, nice recovery. Good defense that time by Cape Central. That time Katie St. John used the block, hit it off the block and out of bounds. Very smart play by her.
The defense from both teams has been phenomenal to start this game already.
Jackson's moved out to a three-point lead. You know, that's kind of the way what they dealt with Incarnate Word the other night. It was close, and then they were going a little 3 or 4 point run, and then it's hard to catch back up. So Ellefson that time with hit it into the net. You know, this is one of the things that the freshman Lauren Dory, she's number 24 for Jackson. She's 6'2", but she sets on this team, and I tell you what, she's got a lot of talent and a lot of upside moving forward. I think she's got good hands. It's Katie St. John off the block. Nice pickup by Dory, covering the block that time. Good job, Ellefson with the hit and off the block and down. So 8-5 now. Jackson with the lead. Substitutions. Oh, referee didn't see the substitution, so there we go. So Ava Wessel back in for Katie St. John. Wessel back to serve for the Indians. Nice serve, picked up nicely. Set to Piper Underwood and hit it into the net. Looked like a pretty decent set, but she just mishit it. That happens. Sorry, I was looking at the screen that time. I didn't see what happened. I apologize.
Yeah, she missed her serve.
I got you.
So
all right.
1-1 on the serves for both teams so
yep.
far.
So 9-6 now. Good pass. Ellefson again, that time picked up nicely.
Great up.
Good job. Good job by Sydney Miller that time to come to swing from the outside, and couldn't be handled by the Indians that time. 9-7. Ian, that's a nice serve.
Very good touch, almost touching that back line there. Very hard for people to receive that.
Absolutely. That's Huckle back to serve. Pass a little close to the net, but handled nicely that time by the setter, and Ellefson with the hit again. Ashlyn Hickey in on the front row for Jackson. Winston back to serve. Libero back to serve for the Indians. Set to Sydney Miller. Picked up nicely. That time a little bump set by the Libero. Ellefson hit that one long, no touch, out of bounds. Point to the Tigers. They've made up that little bit of a lead that they gave to Jackson. Now it's 10-9. with Emma Smith, the libero, serving for the Tigers, and hit long and out of bounds. So another point, tied it up.
It's like Cape Central's kind of in a bit of a groove from the serving line right now. Jackson is kind of struggling to find that offensive firepower they had at the beginning of this set. Let's hope they can pick that back up.
Struggling a little bit with serve receive too, it seems like, over the last 2 or 3 serves, but not getting themselves into good offensive position, look like. You know, it's interesting, this game is such a game of momentum. And even if, you know, it's not one person, it's the entire team feels that momentum shift. It's astonishing. It more so than most any other sport that I watch and enjoy. It's such a game of momentum. Good pickup by the libero there.
Beautiful
set Ellison
by the
again.
libero.
Nice play and good result that time.
Great awareness to jump just before she hit that 10-foot line so she didn't get called for that back row attack there.
That's right. So Lynn Avery Crowley is in to serve for the Indians and hit it into the net. So another missed serve. Boy, those can be costly for a team that, especially against a team like the caliber of these two teams. You know, they're going to take advantage of whatever mistakes you make. So
that's one that'll frustrate you as a coach. You get your point back after 4 or 5, and you give it right back to them with a missed serve.
That's set way close to the net. Good pickup though by Jackson. Somebody was over the line. So number 11, that's Avery Bruni, was across the line. And so a point for the Cape Central Tigers. They're up 2 now, 13-11. There's Bruni with the hit back over. Pretty much a free ball there. And free ball back over. Let's see what the Indians can do with that. Bruni with the hit, blocked nicely. And that was Dory hit that ball really hard and in a very difficult position for the defender.
Ones right at your chest like that are really difficult because you don't know if you want to go your hands or your platform there.
Yep, absolutely.
Great shot by Dory there.
And now she's back to serve for us. Tough receive there. Going to be a free ball over, so let's see what Jackson can do with it. Back set to St. John. And in the net. I knew that net was moving a lot. I know the ball hit it, but it was moving a lot. So that was the block was in the net. Made up those 2 points pretty quickly. There's now tied 13-13. But a great match so far. I mean, really back and forth. Both teams have made some mistakes, but both teams have done some really good things too. Back set to Miller. Nice placement.
The Tigers look like they're more in a game plan where they're trying to. Jackson looks like they're trying to hit the ball insanely hard and find spots where the Tigers are not. While the Tigers look like they're just trying to find any bit of the court that's open, no matter how they have to do it.
Yep. So that was that serve was long. So back over to Jackson again. Katie Wandell with the serve that time. And long. Sophie Haggerty with a solid swing, just didn't get over the top of it enough. Hit it long.
And see Jackson retake the lead here.
Yep. It's been back and forth the whole set. Wandell with the serve again, and there's Furlow with a hit out of the middle. Nice hit that time.
She's making a huge difference in this game right now.
The middle can make a huge difference, and you know, you just never. A lot of the smaller schools around don't have a lot of girls that hit out of the middle really well or block out of the middle really well. And speaking of hitting out of the middle, there's Sands with a nice hit out of the middle. Lila Sands. She's a junior on this team, and we called her name a lot last week. She was really solid in the middle. So Bruni back to serve. Nice pickup off the block. It's over. Set back to St. John and down. That's quite a combination, Dory to St. John. That's been quite a combination tonight and all season. So timeout called by Cape Central. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back here in 30 seconds. Welcome back to Cape Central High School. We are witnessing a quite a tight match. It's 17-15. Jack, what are you seeing so far? We're a little over halfway through this first set, so tell me what you're seeing.
I'm seeing Katie St. John absolutely demolishing the ball out there. She's getting it done when, especially on second or third time when Jackson's having to swing, she is cleaning up for them. And on the Tiger side, I am seeing great defensive play. And number 3, Niola Furlow is making an impact on this game right now. She is all over the place and definitely dominating the middle of that court right now.
Well, you can see why the Southeast Missouri State is so high on Katie St. John, and they want her there next year. They're looking forward to having her on the team. Good pickup. There's Ellison with the hit. Picked up nicely. Back set to St. John. Oh, nice dig that time by the libero Smith, but nobody there to pick it up. 18-15 now. Jackson with the lead. Bruni with the serve again.
Great tip there by Furlow.
So Bruni is a name. I was out here earlier walking around looking at Cape Central's Hall of Fame, and there are several Brunis in the Hall of Fame out here. They are SEMO graduates, and they're I don't know where she fits into that family, but I'm sure she fits in that family somewhere. In fact, there have been 4 generations of Division I athletes, or Division II or Division I athletes at SEMO from that family. So she's got the pedigree to be quite an athlete. So, and we see it on the court. St. John back to serve this time. She didn't serve the first rotation, but she is serving this time. Free ball back over, picked up by St. John. Set back to Dory that time, off the hands and out, but good. So Jack, we like to say that, you know, winning that race to 20 is hugely important, both psychologically as well as literally in a game when you're going to 25. But psychologically, when you see that 2 go up on the board, it does something to a team that's down.
Totally agree there. Kind of gives you that mental, kind of gives that other team that mental block, like, wow, are we actually going to be able to catch up? We only got 5 more points, and it gives you that opportunity of, oh, we just need to win 5 more points for this game. So
right.
Totally agree with you there.
But Cape Central gets the point, and they're only down 3, so we'll see what they can do. We'll see if they can string some serves together here, some points.
It looks like St. John went out for number 26, Ava Wessel.
And long. Boy, that was close, but just out. You'll notice, unlike if you go to a lot of high school volleyball games, you won't see 4 actual MSHA officials calling the game. But the line judges here, as well as last Tuesday night in Jackson, are MSHA officials as well. So they want to make sure that these games are called accurately, and they do a good job. All right, 21-18.
Great seeing there by number 7, Sydney Miller.
Well, we're seeing what we expected from Miller and from Underwood, but also from Furlow. We've seen a lot of good quality hits from Furlow as well. She's a smart player on that front row in the middle.
And we're back in the rotation where Cape Central made their run last time. So let's see if Smith can do it again from the service line.
Yep. Set to the outside to Dory. Wow, tough play, good defense. Got it back over. Close to the net. And they're not going to be able to get, that's 4 hits. They were not able to get it over in 3. The first pass too close to the net, and I was surprised that Sydney Miller didn't just pound that ball, but she just tried to tip it and at least gave, okay, timeout. So he called timeout before he blew the whistle, but it was close. The line judge was waving his flag, and the down referee was trying to stop the play. They did stop it. So we'll stay here this time. It's 21-19. We'll kind of reset things. It's the first set, 21-19. It's been pretty evenly matched. You know, coming into this game, as I mentioned, Jackson is on a 29-match winning streak against Cape Central. But you know what? We had this same situation last Tuesday night down in Clarkton. Clarkton and Gideon, two little Class 1 schools that are huge rivals. I mean, they've been rivals for generations, just like these two close towns. But Gideon had won 32 out of the last 35 meetings, and Clarkton was able to pull it off, won it in 3. And so, you know, Cape Central's got a chance. They're in this. It's 21-19. So let's see what this last push to 25 gets us. Whoops, had the buzzer go off. Ooh, nice swing, but no touch. No one sees a touch, and so it was out. The Cape Central players obviously thought somebody touched that ball, but none of the referees saw it, and I didn't see it. So
I didn't see one either there.
We aren't right on it like the referees are, but I did not see it. 22-19 now. Good pass. Picked up by Cape Central. Picked up. And there's Dory coming through with a hit. Good try defensively there by the libero, but just not enough to get it back over. So we're 23-19 now.
Despite being a freshman, Dory looks like a seasoned competitor out there.
She absolutely does. Crowley with the serve. Hit into the net. Brings us to set point. You know, Coach Ritter pointed out last week that although these young ladies are freshmen, they've played a significant amount of volleyball. They've played a lot of club ball. They've played, you know, they're not new. They're not like typical freshmen in high school. They've played a lot of volleyball, and so they are a little more seasoned, a little more experienced than your typical freshman in high school would be. Crowley with the serve at set point. And there's Dory seeing it, putting it down to win the set. So Jackson Indians win 25-19 in set number 1. We'll be back in 30 seconds or so to chat a little bit about what we saw in set number 1 and what we can expect in set number 2.
At First State Bank and Trust, your future matters to us. Whether opening your first checking account or growing savings for the future, we're here to help with innovative tools and personalized service. FSBT offers a range of deposit options to fit your needs. For nearly a century, we've been committed to the financial needs of our local customers. Secure your future with a bank that's been trusted for generations of families in Southeast Missouri. First State Bank and Trust. Your money, your future, your bank. For 90 years. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to the Cape Central High School Gymnasium. Philip Britt alongside Jack Stover. Jack, tell us what you saw first set and what we think we can expect from set number 2.
The Jackson Indians were really led by two players there. Number 14, Katie St. John, and number 24, Lauren Dory. I mean, I feel like they had almost 95% of the kills for Jackson there. Two outstanding players there, especially Lauren Dory. She was, I mean, her hands looked phenomenal, and especially that connection with St. John there. And for the Tigers, I mean, I loved the way they were attacking. It just felt like they kind of ran out of gas towards the end of that last set. They started making a lot more mistakes, hitting balls long, and just couldn't find it near the end of that set.
Well, and sometimes that happens when you may not have the same kind of experience playing big games. You know, that may be the issue here. This is a big game for them, and they were up for it. They came out swinging. They stayed with them all the way through until it got right at the very end, and they let Jackson kind of pull out ahead of them a little bit, end up winning by 6. So what do you see? What can you see? Hopefully see. What do these coaches tell their players during the break, and what are they hoping from this set?
Definitely from the Cape Central side, I believe their coach was telling them to just press over on their blocks, because it looks like a lot of the kills that St. John was getting, as powerful of a hitter as she is, they were just hitting right into the block, and they were just getting tooled. I would love to see them press over, get their hands fully over the net, and stop her at least once. Once you stop her once, then you know you can do it more, and that'll definitely inspire confidence in the rest of their team.
Absolutely, absolutely. Dory with the serve to start set number 2. Tough receive there by the libero Winston, but free ball back over. Let's see what Cape Central can do with it. There's Sydney Miller hitting that ball out of the middle that time. That was a perfect hit and set. That's what happens when you get a free ball back over for a quality team. They're gonna be right in their system, and that's the result.
Feels like every time Cape Central has set their middles tonight, they've gotten a kill.
Another tough receive that time by the libero Winston. That was behind the antenna. So that was out. Point for for Cape Central.
Tough set there for St. John to hit there.
Absolutely. It was way outside.
And giving it right back to her.
That's right. And you know, that's what you've got to do. You know, you can get a little frustrated, you miss one like that, but she's played too much volleyball to allow that to happen to her.
Good on Dory. Give her one right back. Give her confidence straight back, like it didn't even happen.
Yep. Miller with a hit again, picked up that time. Too close to the net, and there's Sands reaching over, tipping that ball down, and hit long and out, and no touch.
Just hit it there. Looked like it hit the top of her fingers, not what she wanted to do with that ball.
Absolutely. She saw a spot back there deep that she thought she could hit, but just left it hit a little long. Little lack of communication there in the middle, but the hit was good, just long. The ball was way off the net, not kind of an in-between set.
It's like number 14, Ella McGowan, is coming in.
I think it's the first time we've seen McGowan tonight. She's a sophomore on this Cape Central team.
Great substitution there by the coach.
Slowed things down a little bit. You're right. That's right. Wandell with the serve into the net.
That's what I like to call a coach's point right there.
That's right. Usually that comes on a timeout, but we'll give it to him on the substitution as well. So Haley Edmondson back to serve for the Cape Central Tigers. Good deep serve that time. Bruni with the hit to the back row, and pass was too close to the net, couldn't be handled, and point for Jackson.
Just looked like a bit of miscommunication there between the outside and the setter. Too long for the setter to get there, and by the time she called for help, the outside was already transitioned, ready to hit.
Got to communicate quickly on a play like that. You're right. Bruni back to serve for the Jackson Indians. Off Underwood and out of bounds. Bruni back again for the serve. Nice tight serve over the net that time. I didn't think that ball came up. Okay. I thought that ball didn't clear the net, so it did not. So that was 4 hits.
Good on the officials, though, for letting it play out for an extra second just in case they were wrong there.
Right. And I think the up referee may have been waiting for the down referee to make that call, and I don't think he saw it. So sometimes that up referee, that's a tough thing to see.
Oh, yeah, especially. And it's always good to have a down referee that can give you those subtle signals to help you there.
Absolutely right.
A great swing there, I believe, by Underwood.
Yep.
Way to get the Tigers back into it.
Yep, absolutely. 6-4 now with the serve. Haggerty back to serve for the Tigers. Ellefson with the tip over. Set to the outside and a nice hit that time.
When the Tigers are
by
in
Underwood
system,
again.
When the Tigers are in system, they look like a completely different team when they're out of system.
They really do. They really do. When they can pass and they get it to their setter with a good pass, it's just a totally different game. But it is for every team. I mean, some teams are better at playing out of system, but every team, when you can get it what you practice, it makes a huge difference. And we saw it right there with the nice set to St. John.
The Indians haven't honestly been in system that much tonight, but I mean, their out of system setting is on a whole nother level than what I've seen for a high school team recently. Like, I feels like every out of system ball, they're still getting a attack that an in system.
Well, they're actually, yeah, they almost never just pass the ball back over the net. They always hit it one way or the other. They're always taking a swing at it, which, you know, at this level, you've got to do that.
Which I'm sure Coach Dave Marley is ecstatic to have that type of talent on his team.
Absolutely. Let's pick up on the Ellefson hit that time. Underwood, no, that was not. Pass the outside to Ellefson again.
Great pickups.
Good defense, chasing the ball down that time by Cape Central.
We
a double hit that time.
We talked about before the game about the double hit rule.
Yes, we did. So in college now, they've eliminated the double contact on a set if it stays on your side of the net. If it goes over the net, it's still double contact. But if you set it to someone else and they hit it, then it's the double contact is no longer a violation. Not the rule in high school yet. It probably will be in another couple years, but right now it's still the setter has to make clean contact. You know what that's all about. You were a setter in high school. You know all about having to make clean contact on the set.
Oh, yeah.
But we talked about early on that, you know, if you make double contact, generally that ball doesn't come out where you want it to go.
No, your hitters kind of get frustrated at you when you give them a doubled ball.
I'm sure. Tough receive there, but a nice bump set by the libero. Keep that action alive. Big block that time by Dory and Wandell.
Looks like both teams have kind of turned up the intensity on their serves. You know, they're missing a bit more, but they seem to be much more aggressive this set.
They do. I agree. They were a little bit tentative in the first set. I mean, they were still aggressive on a lot of their play, but serving, you're right, they were a little bit more tentative. Another set by the libero. This time the hit was long by Bruni. Tied up again. Back and forth, both sets. Until the very end of the first set when Jackson was able to pull out to a bit of a lead and the victory. So tough receive there by Dory. That ball dropped on her. I think she thought it was going to come a little deeper, and she reacted late, couldn't control it.
Great serve there by Smith. She's been very solid all night for the Tigers.
She has, defensively, but also serving. Several runs they've had have been with her serving. That ball didn't clear the net, so another 4 hits, so another point for the Tigers.
Now, if you're the Cape Central coach, do you consider next set, if things go your way, starting with Smith as your first server?
That's possible because they get the first serve next set. So tough receive there. That was a good hit.
Way to get anything on that by Underwood.
So Dory's back to serve for the Jackson Indians. Down 1, 10-11. They call a lift that time. She tried to get her hands under it, but I don't think she liked that call very much.
Looks like they called 4 contacts there.
Oh, I don't think that was accurate, but I don't know. Maybe it was. Okay, I thought it was a lift on her picking that ball up off her block. That one was. maybe I just had a premonition there. Right, exactly.
That one set just a tiny bit too low for the tempo they were running that at.
Absolutely. Nice serve. Deep and tough ball for Underwood there to try to pick up in the back row.
And just like that, a 3-point run for Jackson. Keep taking a commanding lead back in this set.
That's what we saw in that first set. They got out 3 or 4 points, and then Cape Central was able to reel them back in and get back to tied. So there's a start. There's one first point.
A second coach's point for Cape Central there.
That's right. Another substitution slowed things down just enough. So Dory with the long serve again, being a little more aggressive maybe, and as a result, we're seeing a lot of or more missed serves.
Especially on her third or fourth serve,
right.
You're in that rhythm. She gets that tiny bit overconfidence, and then she just messes up like this tiny thing that just causes that ball to go out of bounds.
Get a little farther back each time, and then it goes long. There's Bruni with a nice quick hit out of the middle that time.
That 3 ball is especially dangerous with St. John on the outside because that middle blocker is always going to be hesitant of St. John just going up with a one-on-one, and you know that's not favorable for Cape Central.
Right. Set back to Miller again, to Miller again, and nice placement that time.
That tip over the block on the right side, it feels like they've gotten 4 or 5
It's been very
there.
effective, hasn't it? Absolutely. Not a lot on it. Just put it right where it needs to be. Edmondson came in for Miller. But Katie St. John back on the front row. She can quiet things down a little bit.
Very impressive swing there. That ball was set almost behind her, but she still got as much power as I've seen her get tonight.
Yep. She's a very strong hitter. No question as to why she's the all-time kills leader. It's into the net. The pass was way too close to the net, and the setter did everything she could to try to stay out of the net, but could not do it.
Those are always tough ones for setters, because if you let it hit the net, you're not sure if you're going to get it, but you always think you could.
Right. Nice hit that time off the block and out of bounds for Underwood. You know, we haven't called Huckel's name a lot. She's the setter, but you know, she's been everywhere on this court. She has really got a lot of quality sets for this team. And again, as you said, when they're in system and she gets that second hit, they are a much different team.
And she just made a great dig, as you were talking about.
Sure did, and Furlow made the play out of the middle on the second hit, but it was almost like a set on that dig. Huckel has great hands, the setter.
Oh, yeah. She's been running a masterclass of an offense tonight.
Yep. St. John that time, no touch, hit it out of bounds, trying to cut it across court, and could not, and hit it out of bounds.
The Tigers have tied it up here.
Sure have, 16 all. set to the outside that time to Ellefson. Picked up nicely by the pass was long over the net, and had two hitters up there to block that one back. Coach Murley needs a timeout. So Coach Murley calls timeout. He does not look happy, so we're going to take a break. We'll be back in 30 seconds to talk about what he's saying to that team in the huddle.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag. Back and better than ever. Just $6.99. Mix and match any two full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Any two plus fries and a drink, all just $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck.
Welcome back to Cape Central High School. We're just like you. We're watching that flame broiled burger from Hardee's. It looked pretty good. I haven't had dinner yet, so we're this makes 3 times in a row now that Tyler's made me hungry putting that Hardee's commercial up. But you know, Hardee's of Malden is a huge supporter of high school sports and our high school volleyball broadcast, and we appreciate them. So anybody out there happens to be down there in Malden and wants to go by Hardee's and pick up a burger, looks like it's pretty good. So, all right, we're back here with Cape Central still has the, oh my, that time that was in. The lack of communication between the two defensive players in the back row. Let that one drop in. You'd much rather them, I think you'd much rather as a coach have them pick up one that may be questionable being out than let one drop in like that.
And that's especially frustrating for Coach Murley as he's right after he called a timeout. Those are the ones that really irk you as a coach.
Yep, absolutely. There's Lila Sands playing in the middle, goes up and poached that ball and put it down. So good for her to be awake and ready, and you know, she didn't pound it, but she put it right where it needed to go. So way out of system this time. Free ball over. Let's see what the Jackson Indians can do with the free one. Quick set to the middle to Sands, but a good block. They were ready for that quick set that time out of the middle.
They threw a triple block up on that.
They sure did. Everybody knew where that ball was going, I believe. Furlow back with the serve for the Tigers, leading 19-17. Good swing that time by Ellefson.
Looks like the Tigers have kind of tightened up their rotation, going to a 5-1 rather than that 6-2 they've been running for the first set and a half.
Yep. Coach saw something that worked better that way, I suppose. Good hustle by Huckle, the setter there.
Great dig there.
That was a hard swing, too. That was a nice pickup by the libero.
That is a fantastic dig there.
She's been tough tonight. Proved it one more time. That was about as hard a ball as we've seen hit tonight, and she picked it straight up and made the play.
I mean,
and I think maybe Jackson was surprised it came back over.
I mean, the Tigers were giving her that much line, and for a good reason.
Absolutely.
Smith was there, and she ate that ball up.
Yep. Scouting report may have her hitting that ball down the line because she was right where she needed to be.
But Dory coming right back after that one, getting another kill for the Indians.
So Lynn Avery Crawley back in to serve for the Jackson Indians. Nice tip over that time. Jackson was ready for it. But Bruni with the tip back and could not be covered that time by the Cape Central Tigers. The senior Crowley back to serve again for the Jackson Indians. Tied 20-20. Nice hits, nice blocks, nice picks. Everything is communication caused the problem there. Both teams were really playing well, and then suddenly a lack of communication cost them a point. You can't give a team like Jackson too many free points. They will definitely take advantage of it. Crowley back to serve again. Good recovery there by Miller. Good hit by Bruni, but picked up again. Not sure that she knew where that Burkfield knew exactly where she was on the court that time. Substitution. Burkfield comes out. Ellen McGowan comes in. 22-20. Jackson with the 2-point lead late in set number 2. Out of system there, and obviously a problem for them. That first pass, the serve receive. I hate to say they're tightening up a little bit, but they may be tightening up on that serve receive right now.
And it feels like a choice by the Indians to be targeting Furlow, who doesn't normally play back row for the Tigers, it seems.
Right. Miller with the tip over. And the setter had the first hit.
Great dig there. Oh.
Too bad they couldn't do anything with it. Winston with a great dig on the Miller hit.
As you were saying, great free ball over by the Indians. They're putting it right to the setter and keeping the Tigers out of system.
That's exactly right.
Even on a free ball. But Smith is back to serve, and this is where they typically make their runs.
I know, and she set the ball pretty nicely. I mean, it was a pass, but she put it right where Miller needed it. Nice pass that time. Thought she could dunk it over, missed it, or got it over, but not where she wanted it. That's a tough ball to hit with that ball coming over your shoulder in the middle like that. Off the block and out of bounds. Yep, absolutely.
Fantastic.
That's why I told you before this match that Dory impressed me so much the other night as a freshman. She's got great hands, she sets well, but she can pound the ball when she needs to.
The poise to take that out of system high ball and just aim for hands.
Yep. And then, hits the ball into the net. It's 24-22 with set point and hit it into the net.
That's definitely what they call the announcer's jinx, isn't it?
I guess it may be. Maybe. So Huckle with the serve. Little bump set. Hit by Furlow out of the middle. Back set to Miller. Picked up nicely that time.
Beautiful shot there by Katie St.
It was
John.
absolutely right where she needed it to be. Good play on both sides of the ball, of the net that time by the Indians and the Tigers. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back to give some analysis of set number 1 or set number 2, and what we can expect here in set number 3.
Senator Jason Bean is proud to represent Southeast Missouri and the Boot Heel in the Missouri Senate. High school football is a positive avenue for our student athletes to build character, compete, and grow. Senator Jason Bean wishes all our student athletes and coaches a successful season.
Mathis Funeral Home of Dexter and Bernie strives to provide their community with the accommodations and services needed to relieve your family during times of loss. For more information, give them a call and see how Mathis Funeral Home can help meet your expectations in celebrating your loved ones.
At SEMO Health Network, we strive to provide caring and affordable health care while making our patients feel welcome in our warm and friendly atmosphere. With locations throughout Southeast Missouri, we provide medical, dental, OB, and behavioral health services to anyone and everyone that may need it. Visit SEMO Health Network for your wellness exams, COVID and flu vaccinations, lab services, dental exams, counseling, and more. For more information, visit our website and let SEMO Health Network take care of you.
And we're back here at Cape Central High School Gymnasium. Recap real quick, reset things. The Jackson Indians have won the first 2 sets in this best 3 out of 5 match. Both sets were very close. That one 25-22, the first one 25-19. The Cape Central Tigers have certainly come to play tonight. So, Jack, tell me what you think. What did you see in that set, and what does Cape Central have to do in this set to actually pull out a win in the set number 3?
Cape Central right now does not look like a team that has lost 29 straight games to Jackson. They look like this has been a competitive series for the last however many years. I feel like they're struggling at the end of these sets. You know, they might not be accustomed to these bigger games where Jackson has, and they played a bit better competition. So when they get closer and they get to those tighter points, they're not sure of themselves. Where Jackson, especially, that's where it's nice to have somebody like Katie St. John on your team, where all-time kills leader there for the Indians. You know you have a reliable person there, just set a ball and get a kill.
Yeah, four-year starter for them. And again, that's not something that happens a lot here at Jackson, even though we've got 2 freshmen starting this year for the Indians, for Coach Murley. And both of those girls have played solid, especially Dory. She's shown us so much tonight as an all-around player, but hitting the ball, setting the ball, she's played really well all the way around.
Dory has definitely been very impressive tonight. I've seen very little mistakes out of her, especially for being a freshman at this level.
Right.
Very impressive.
Again, we know she's played a lot of club ball. She's played a lot of volleyball over the years, but still, she's still a freshman. She's still just probably, 15 years old, and so, she's young, but, man, she's got a lot of talent. I'm looking forward to seeing her the next 3 years. Real close to the net. That's the advantage of having a 6'2" setter on your team, but she did go over the line. But, she's tall. She can handle that. She's in the front row, so she could jump. So that was
and this is also the advantage of having a setter who can hit right side, too, is it looks like this first ball, Dory will be your setter, but then you have number 26, Ava Wessel, for the rest of the rally. If it goes to that, then Dory can also hit.
That's right. So first 2 points go to the Tigers. Set to the outside to Bruni that time. Picked up nicely. Miller with the hit. Picked up again by the Indians. Nice defense. Somebody crossed the line. Somebody crossed under the net. Even though it didn't have anything to do with the play, crossed under the line. Cross the line, you just can't do that.
This will be a very important first 10 points I feel like for the Indians especially. If they want to seal this game, they have to come out swinging and take out all of Cape Central's confidence that they might be building. Absolutely.
Because they had a little bit of momentum after that, even though they lost that second set. They know they were right in it to the very end. I'll call her in the net. She tipped it with her hands. Tipped it with her hand as she swung through. That was Wandell that time.
And that's something we've all experienced. When you get that perfect overpass and you just mess it up.
You get so excited, your eyes get too big, and you just swing right through the net. Or hit it into the net. That happens sometimes too. St. John hitting across court, off hands. Off hands and out of bounds.
It's like a touch off the block.
The up referee did not see it. The line judge called the touch. Oh. So
overruling the referee there.
Overruling, and it was out of bounds.
Good job by the referees getting together
Absolutely.
and talking about it.
Absolutely.
Always make sure you want to get that right.
Yep. And, I appreciate the fact that the referee or the line judge was willing to say, okay, you're right. So another point there for the Jackson Indians, 4-2 now. Katie Wandell back to serve for the Indians. Nice deep serve that time. Quick response there by, nice play. Katie St. John tipping that ball over. Set back to St. John again. I think we could call the net that time. Yep. The block was in the net.
Looks like the Indians have adjusted the defense they're playing a bit, covering a lot more of the tips, forcing the Tigers to swing a lot more.
Recognizing that was certainly working for them. Long serve that time by Wandell. Winston back in, the libero back in to play the back row for Wandell. Bergfield back to serve for the Tigers, up 5-3.
Another
net violation.
It looks like we're getting to see Leah Jackson for the first time.
Absolutely. So, it's interesting. That's got to be frustrating for the coach because that's just lack of, you're not paying attention when you're not actually making a play and you get over the line or in the net. That's got to be frustrating because that's just lack of focus.
There's especially nothing more frustrating than seeing your player get a great dig and then in the net.
Yep.
And another one there on the Tigers. That's 3 in this set alone.
Yep. But Sands that time with a good hit anyway. So.
Oh, yeah.
We'll give her credit anyway.
As a hitter, you count that as a hit.
Exactly.
You count that as a kill on the stat sheet.
No matter what. Big block that time, but picked up. There's
Smith again.
Smith picking that ball up again. Oh, good block that time. St. John just mishit that ball a little bit, but the block was there.
Feels like that's the first time she's been blocked all night.
I know. And she didn't hit it as well as she has been hitting, but still they were there ready for that ball.
Looks like they recognized that she was aiming for that cross shot and just sat on it.
Yep. That was long serve there from Cape Central. 6-6. We're tied back up again. How many times? I wish we'd tracked how many times we've been tied tonight because I know it's been a lot.
That number would be very high.
It would be. But that's a lot of fun, especially for us. It may not be that it's tight down there. Makes you a little nervous when you're on the court.
Beautiful set there.
Absolutely. That ball, she was really close to the net, but she set it right back for Dory. This time outside to Ellefson. Nice swing. Tell you what, she's a solid outside hitter over there.
I believe that was number 11, Ava Brune, that set that ball.
Mm-hmm.
That was so impressive. She had her body squared to the net and set that to her right side. That is probably one of the hardest sets you can do as a setter. Very impressed, especially for a freshman.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's Dory with that high hit again right into somebody's chest. That's about the second or third time we've seen that from her. She hits that ball nice into that back row. St. John back to serve for the Jackson Indians. And served it all the way across court and out. Substitution. Ava Wessel back in. She'll be our setter at this point.
Must be a luxury for the Indians to have 3 or 4 very capable setters that they can just plug in at any time on their team.
Absolutely. Not something you see very often in high school volleyball. And even the girls who aren't setters can still set the ball. I mean, it's astonishing. You just mentioned Bruni with the set earlier. I mean, it's just.
I mean, even the libero, I believe Amari Winston has just, her hands have been very impressive for a libero tonight.
Absolutely.
Surely a luxury most teams cannot afford to have.
Absolutely. Speaking of Winston, she's back to serve for the Indians. Hit it right into the net.
That's the third or fourth time we've complimented somebody and they've just missed their serve.
Well, we have to quit complimenting people to go back to serve. We're just gonna have to pick on other people to talk about. But it seems like every time you've said Smith does well, she does well. So I mean, it's not like she hasn't missed a serve all night. She's been solid.
So speaking of solid, Dory has been solid, more than solid tonight.
Solid hit off the block and out of bounds for a point for Jackson. 10-8 now. Lynn Avery Crowley with the serve.
Great dig.
There's Winston again, the libero with the dig. Bruni hits over the block that time. Oh, good pickup that time. Cape Central's really been good at into the net. Cape Central's really been good at at staying in system in that they get out of the way. I mean, they back off when that pass goes up to that setter. They're like, "It's your ball, you go get it," and they've done a really good job with that. And it's kept them in system a whole lot more because a lot of times high school teams won't tend to do that. They'll have a tendency to be, get in the way, not communicate well, but they communicate really well, and they get set up for their hits.
And their hitters are doing a fantastic job of transitioning off and being ready for any hit that could come.
Absolutely. Nice hustle that time, but that was a good hit by Miller that time.
And that's the dangers of being in system. That middle had to stay with Furlow there, and
yes.
Miller had a one-on-one hit.
I mean, Furlow's been so successful out of the middle. They, they didn't know where that was going to go. They both went up like they were going to hit, and Miller was able to pound it.
Looks like you'll see Dory set the first ball in serve receive here if it went over the net.
And it didn't, so she'll go back and serve instead. 11-10, Jackson with the lead here in set number 3. St. John back in.
These next 3 rotations, I think, will be very important for Jackson to see if they're going to come away with this or the Tigers are going to stay close.
Yep. Miller with a swing again. Nice. Off hands and out of bounds. Sydney Miller's been impressive on that outside. She's a solid hitter and on the right side too. She's solid.
She even hit a bit of middle tonight.
Yep.
Triple threat.
Wherever they need her, that's where she hits. St. John was just pounded that one. She pounded that out of the back row, even though she's a front row player. She was in the back row when she hit that ball, and she just pounded it.
Great awareness by her, knowing that ball was not past where it needs to be. She realized where her setter was, and she took her approach accordingly. Very intelligent play from a senior there.
Yep, absolutely. Setter put it right where she needed it too. That's long.
That's one you want back if you're Underwood there.
Yep. She just didn't need to put that much on it. She's trying to get it to the back of the court because that's probably not where people were, but just too much. And it was obvious it was going to be out too. That wasn't even one that was questionable. Furlow with a hit. Over the line again. This time on Cape Central.
Those are the ones that frustrate you because you make the great play and then you just can't control your momentum.
That's true. That's exactly what happens. Pass close to the net. Oh, nice block that time, but off her hands and out of bounds. That was Jackson, Aaliyah Jackson that time, one-on-one with St. John. Not too many people will do that. One-on-one with St. John.
I don't think I want to go one-on-one with St. John. The way she's swinging the ball tonight, I feel like I'd have to go to the hospital and get a couple casts for my fingers.
Pounded that right into her hands and out of bounds, but she wasn't afraid to go up there with her. Nice. It was Underwood that time, swinging away on the outside. That was a nice hit.
Way to take the line. Way to swing on that line. As successful as St. John has been swinging tonight, they've been kind of abusing her on the block tonight. So it feels like an adjustment from the coaches that they're going to start swinging the line a lot more on that outside.
Good point. And a long serve. Boy, you make great plays, get the serve back, and then you miss your serve. I tell you, the other night, it's one of the things that I noticed in the Incarnate Word Jackson game. There were only about maybe 3 or 4 unforced errors on the serve all night long. I mean, every serve was in, every serve was solid. They were weapons. They weren't just lobbed over the net. They were weapons. And I was really impressed with that. It was impressive all night long for both teams.
Yeah, especially at this level, a serve, you can't just put over any serve. Because if you put over any serve, it's basically like giving a free ball to your opponent.
That's
so
right.
I'm sure coaches are fine with some missed serves as long as they're staying aggressive. But
Absolutely.
it feels like there's been a lot of missed serves tonight.
Yep, there have been. A lot more than we saw, certainly way more than we saw the other night, but a lot more than I would have expected coming into tonight, especially for Jackson.
But I think this is where Jackson's advantage really comes in, because even though both teams are serving harder, Jackson's ability to hit out of system and be out of system and still be a effective offense out of system more than the Tigers is really just keeping them winning these games.
Yep, and that was Sands with the kill out of the middle again. The middles on both teams have been very effective tonight. Nice bump pass or set.
Great dig by Dory
Picked
there.
up by Dory. Tell you what, we've called her name
can't
so
she
much
do?
tonight. I know. Is that hit the antenna? So it was out.
I mean, it feels like any time that the Tigers built a tiny bit of momentum, we're just saying, oh, Dory with the kill, Dory with
You're
the dig,
right.
something like that.
Yep. She has been the thorn in their side tonight for sure. Nice hit Underwood there with a nice hit.
Beautiful decision by the setter on the outside to run a 3-ball there. Get that a bit more inside, give her that a bit more momentum, just swing hard cross there.
Absolutely. So Underwood back to serve now for the Tigers. Served it long. 19-14 now.
Is that
Jackson
4 in a
with
row
the lead.
now for the Tigers?
I think so. Not even requiring Jackson to get into their offense. Tough receive there on the serve. Winston with a good serve, and timeout for the Cape Central Tigers. We're going to take a timeout as well. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
We're right here at King Jerry Lawler's Hall of Fame Bar and Grill on world famous Beale Street, and as you can see, oh my gosh, we have the best barbecue ribs in Memphis. Oh my gosh, the gumbo is out of this world, but you gotta try the King's Triple Decker Slam Burger. You'll love it.
All right, we're back here at Cape Central High School. Another meal on the commercial, King Jerry Lawler's Hall of Fame Bar and Grill on Beale Street in Memphis. If you happen to be down in Memphis, go by and tell them you saw it on Aycorp Sports. Maybe they'll give you a free appetizer. I think that's what it says, something like that. But all right, so here we are, 2014. The Jackson Indians lead here in set number 3. This best 3 out of 5. If they get 5 more points, that's their match. So what does Cape Central have to do to recover some momentum and get themselves back in this match?
Firstly, they need to side out, and then they need to they need to not miss serves. I feel like that's been their thorn in their side all matches. They've missed 4 serves this set, it seems like, in a row. Luckily, they got Smith back to serve, and hopefully we're not jinxing her again.
That's right. That's right.
But this is where, if they're going to make their run, I think they got to make their run.
I agree. This is when they've been able to make runs. I mean, they've got who they want in the front row. They've got Miller in the front row, and this is their solid group. And he's going to call a double contact.
This set, I feel like the Tigers, after that second set, they've just made so many more unforced errors than this set than the first 2 combined.
I think they saw that second set kind of get away from them, and I think that frustrated them a little bit. They're having a little trouble with serve receive, and with their serves now, it's just been a challenge for them. And Jackson just puts a hammer down. I mean, when it's time to win, they know how to put the foot on the gas and finish off a set for sure.
And no matter what the outcome happens to be tonight, I think the Tigers should be proud of the way they've played. They have played outstanding tonight.
Absolutely, much coming into this, we expected Jackson to win fairly easily, and honestly. We knew that Cape Central was a better team than they've had in the past couple years. But we still expected Jackson to come in and dominate, and they have not dominated this match. They really haven't. This game has been more dominant than any of the first 2 sets. Another unforced serve into the net.
Yeah, it doesn't even feel like Jackson's just kind of had to do much this set. They're kind of just, it feels like they're on coasting mode right now.
Yeah.
Which it can happen when you get demoralized at the end of the second set. You'd hope that next time when the Tigers get into a game like this, that they can learn from this experience.
Absolutely. Still playing hard.
Oh, yeah.
You got to give them credit for, they're still playing hard. They're down 6 here toward the end of set number 3. They're down 2-0.
There's definitely been some bigger comebacks I've seen in my life, so
absolutely.
This game is not over by any means necessary.
Absolutely. So Miller back to serve for the Tigers. Got that serve in, and when you get a serve in, you make the other team have to actually do something, and they weren't able to that time. So,
and talking from experience, 23 can be a dangerous spot to sit at, because then you may start experimenting with some stuff that you might not normally do in a game, and by the time you know it, it's 22-23, and you've lost 4 points in a row. So if you're the Indians, you look to just finish it out right now.
Right. You got to just keep swinging. You got to keep doing your thing. One of the things you see at 23-18, 24-18 from a team that's behind, a lot of times they'll quit swinging hard. They'll quit. They'll just tip balls over, and in the end, that they end up losing because they get real tentative.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
They start to play not to lose instead of playing to win.
Exactly. Especially when it's this close. Fittingly, it's Katie St. John with the final swing of our match tonight. The Jackson Indians pull out the final set. 25-18, so 25-18, 25-22, 25-19. What a great game, really, that we saw tonight. The Jackson Indians came in here probably highly favored. They won 29 straight matches against the Tigers. In fact, as I mentioned, the Tigers have only won 2 sets against them. But you know what? They didn't win a set tonight, but Jackson leaves tonight knowing they were in a match. So tell me what you saw, what you were impressed with, what the teams have that they could improve on, and what we got to look forward to later on in the season from these 2 teams.
I was personally very impressed with number 14, Katie St. John.
Yep.
She dominated, and she put her presence. She's going to become a D1 athlete, and that's exactly what you expect of a future D1 athlete. Come out here and put her mark on the game.
Yep.
But my star for the Indians tonight was Lauren Dory. I mean, I felt like every 5 points we were saying something positive about her. I mean, she hit as well as almost anybody on the court, and her hands were beautiful, as well as I think she only missed like 1 or 2 serves in this game. And then just her overall presence, it did not feel like she was a freshman. It felt like she had been very experienced, which from club volleyball definitely can help. And on the Tigers side, I mean, there was a couple standouts for them. I think Emma Smith had a heck of a game. I mean, she got so many digs, and she kept them in it, especially from the service line. And Nyla Furlow, she was very good from the front row tonight. She kept the Indians guessing and kept that close. Same with Ella Huckle. I mean, she ran her offense really well.
She did.
I think if I'm the Tigers coach, I'm coming out and saying, we played a good game that third set. I'm disappointed in the third set because we just made too many unforced errors. We were in the net a couple times. We missed too many serves. We're not going to win games if we're going to do that, especially against a team. You might be able to beat some worse teams, but especially not against the Indians. Right. And if I'm Coach Dave Marley, I'm thinking, hey, this is a rivalry that I'm going to have to contend with for the next 5 years if this team is going to continue to grow like this.
That's right.
But, as we said at the beginning of the match, the Indians were a rather young team, feeling only 1 or 2 seniors in their starting lineup, while the Tigers had a bunch more experience. So you hope maybe later if this teams meet again in the playoffs or something, that experience can kind of win out for the Tigers.
Well, you got to give credit to Coach Summer McCauley Purdue. She's her first year here, and it appears that she's really got some excitement around this team. We had a good crowd here tonight. People were here wanting to watch this team play, a good group of students. I mean, it was just really nice to see this rivalry actually mean something, because it hasn't meant a lot recently. And to see a game like this, hopefully that will stir it to get even better over the next couple of years. You know, we've got a couple more games coming up this week. We've got a game Thursday night. We got a big rivalry game between the Dexter Bearcats and the Bernie Mules down at the Bearcat Event Center in Dexter. And then Friday night, under the lights, we'll be in Portageville to watch the Bulldogs host the Scott City Rams. Bulldogs have played. They're as hot as anybody around right now. They surprised a lot of folks because they lost a lot off their offense last year, but they've played really well so far, and that's a big Class II District 1 matchup. So we'll see who can come out of that in a better position. Also, I failed to mention earlier, if you haven't had a chance to watch it yet, we're always trying to do things that are innovative and exciting about high school sports here at Aycorp Sports. So every Monday morning, 7 o'clock, SEMO Sports Zone is a podcast. You can find it on Spotify, Amazon Music, or on the SEMO Sports Zone YouTube channel. David Jenkins and Andrew Moore host it weekly, talking about high school sports. They've spent a lot of time talking about high school football the last couple of weeks because that's what's going on right now, and they're excited about it. We're excited about it. So tune in there. You can find the 3 podcasts they've already done, and then be ready for it next Monday when it comes out, 7 a.m. Well, I appreciate Jack Stover joining me tonight. Appreciate you, Jack. This has been a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah, I had a blast.
All right, well, expect a call back in the future. We'll definitely want you back on the air with us because you did a great job tonight. Your insight was great. I appreciate all the things you pointed out and shared with us tonight. Your experience both as a player and now as a coach, coaching boys volleyball with NSSC. We're glad to have you and your analysis as part of our broadcast. So, well, until next time, we appreciate you tuning in at Aycorp Sports. We will see you hopefully Thursday night. Take care.